Hello, and welcome to this video on provision for doubtful debts. Now, the provision for doubtful debts is an estimate by business of the trade receivables which may become irrecoverable. So your trade receivables are your credit customers, and some of them may not be able to pay us in the future. So we have an estimate by business of the trade receivables which may become irrecoverable. Now, how's it calculated? Well, the business uses a percentage is used, and it's based on past experience. So if they use a percentage of 5%, that's because in the past, each year, 5% of their trade receivables were unable to pay them. Now, you've got two types of provision. You've got a general provision for doubtful debts. It's an allowance it's an allowance applied to trade receivables after rising of irrecoverable debts. And your irrecoverable debts are those debts which you know for definite have not been paid or will not be paid. A specific provision is an allowance applied to one or more specific doubtful debts. So let's have a look at an example now. A business decides to create a provision for doubtful debts of 5% of its trade receivables. So it's not expecting to receive 5% of its trade receivables. After writing off irrecoverable debts, the trade receivables figures at the end of each of the 3 years were as follows. So at the end of 2021, it was £10,000. At the end of 2022, the trade receivables were £15,000. And at 2023, at the end of 2023, the amount was £12,000. Remember, these are the amounts after irrecoverable debts have been written off. What do we have to do? Prepare the provision for doubtful debts account and complete the table below. So let's do some workings now. So here's my solution. I've got the year-end column, the trade receivables column, the provision for 5%, and the provision for doubtful debts. So at the end of December 2021, I'm going to go back to find out my trade receivables, and they were £10,000. At the end of 2022, my trade receivables were £15,000. At the end of 2023, they were £12,000. So this is taken directly from the information in the question. Now, the provision we're told is 5%. So in 2021, the end of 2021, it will be 10,000 times 5%. So they're not expecting to receive £500 from their trade receivables who are their credit customers. Likewise, at the end of 2022, the year ended the 5th of December 2022, they do not expect to receive £750. That's 5% of £15,000. And at the end of December 2023, they do not expect to receive 5% of £12,000, which is £600. Right, so now we've got to do a provision for doubtful debts account. So at the end of December 2021, the provision is going to be £500. So we have a provision here of £500. It's going to be balance carried down at the end of the year, which was the 31st of December 2021. And then in the income statement, we've got this provision amount of £500. And again, that's for the year ended the 31st of December 2021. So I'll tidy it up now. My total for the debit is 500, and my total for the credit is 500. So that's the year ended the 3rd of December 2021. Now, when we get to the next one, 3rd of December 2022, I've got a little blue box there, so I'm going to highlight this here in blue. So let's change my colour for that one. So the provision at the end of December 2022 is 31st of December 2022. My balance carried down at the end of that year, we worked out, was the one in the blue box, which was £750. Now, the balance brought down at the beginning of the year was last year's carried down figure. So, carried down on the debit means brought down on the credit. So, balance brought down. Now, maybe an idea to have done that before the balance carried down. So, it's £500. And it's the beginning of the year. So, it'll be the 1st of January 2022. Now, we're to balance the account now. On the debit side, I've got £750. And on my credit side, I've got £500. There's a difference of £200. So my total should be £750 on both sides. That's the largest total. The difference is £250. Now that's an increase in your provision for doubtful debts. So again, it's going to go on your income statement, and it'll be as an expense on your income statement. And that's for the 31st of December 2022 now. So now we've got a balance carried down December 2022. That means on the next year, on the 1st of January 23, you're going to have balance brought down of the £750. Now, if I go back to my balance provision at the end of December 23, I've got £600. Let's change the colour to match the answer scheme. Let's do the green now. Okay. So, the balance carried down at the end of December 23, we worked out to be £600. So we've got balance carried down. So this is the provision at the end of the year what we think we're not going to be receiving. Now, we've got £600 total here on the debit side. The credit side, we've got £750 total. So again, the two totals must be the same. So we take the bigger total. So the bigger total is £750. That means there's a difference now on my debit side of £150. So 750 take away 600. And that difference goes to our income statement. At the end of the year, which is the 31st December 23. So what's actually happened here, the provision at the end of last year of 750 there has been reduced by £150 to £600. So that's going to go in our income statement on the credit side. So the final bit now is we've got a balance carried down on the 31st December 2023. So that means the next day, the 1st of January 24, we have balance brought down on the credit side of the same amount, £600. Now we're just going to complete the table below now. So I've got the year, December 2021, 2022, 2023. And we've got the expense. So let me just remove these for the moment. In December 2021, we're going to have an expense on the income statement of £500. So that's where my £500 there comes from. December 2022, again, an expense of £250. So that's going to go there. And in 2023, it's the opposite. The provision has gone down, so it's treated as income. We're going to have an income of £150. Now, your trade receivables we got from the question was £10,000 in 2021. End of 2022 was £15,000. And in 2023 was £12,000. Now, we're now going to deduct from that the provision for doubtful debts. So at the end of December 2021, our provision carried down, or we worked it out here, was £500. So we're going to deduct £500 from the 10,000. We are not expecting to get that £500. So our trade receivables figure, the net amount, will be the 10,000, take away the 500, so that'll be £9,500. Right, the year end, December 2022, we look for our provision again. So the provision for 2022, it was £750. So we're not expecting to receive £750 of our trade receivables. So the net amount is going to be the total trade receivables of 15,000. Take away the 750 we're not expecting to get. So that's going to be £14,250. Then the final year, December 2023, I go back to the table. We do not expect to get £600. That's our provision. So that's our £600 there. So the net trade receivables is going to be the £12,000 minus what we are not expecting to get, the provision of £600. So we expect then our net trade receivables to be £11,400. So that's your video on provision for doubtful debts.